Let's talk about humility. Humility isn't a weakness. It's not shrinking yourself to please others. It's not letting people walk over you. It's not pretending you're less than you are. Real humility is knowing what you are and what you're not. It's standing on a mountain you built with your own hands and saying, I'm proud of this, while still remembering the dirt, the sweat, the struggle, and still remembering there were days you doubted you'd even take a single step. Humility is accepting praise without needing it. It's doing great things and letting the actions speak louder than your mouth ever could. It's knowing you're capable, powerful, and talented, but choosing not to rub it in the face of the world. It's choosing silence when you could flex. It's choosing grace when you could gloat. It's choosing to help when you could dominate. The loudest in the room, usually the most insecure. The one who needs validation, applause, attention, but the humble one, they're different. They don't need a spotlight because they shine from within. They've already fought the inner battle. They've already buried the ego. The humble person knows they're not better than anyone, just different, just further along in some places and behind in others. They listen before they speak. They observe before they act. They learn before they judge, because they know, truly know, that everyone has something to teach, even the ones society ignores, especially them. Humility is when you've been up and when you've been down, and you carry both inside you, not just the memory of success, but the pain of failure, and you don't let either define you. Humility is the athlete who trains like they're broke even after they've made it. It's the CEO who still thanks the janitor. It's the artist who's world famous but still takes time to respond to the unknown kid who looks up to them. It's the person who doesn't need credit for doing the right thing, who doesn't post every good deed, who doesn't weaponize kindness for likes. It's the fighter who bows before the match, the leader who serves before they command. Humility is rare because ego is loud, pride is addictive, validation feels good, but none of that builds character, none of that lasts. Humility, that lasts. It gives you balance when you win. It gives you strength when you lose. It keeps your head level when everyone's shouting your name and keeps your heart strong when no one remembers it. It lets you admit when you're wrong, ask for help, say sorry without choking. It lets you grow. People mistake confidence for arrogance, but the truth, the most confident people you'll ever meet are also the most humble, because they don't need to prove anything. They already know who they are, and they've got nothing to prove to people who don't. They just do the work quietly, consistently, relentlessly. They don't rise by pushing others down. They rise by lifting others up, because they know success isn't a competition and life isn't a scoreboard. And if it is, it's not just about points. It's about impact, legacy, heart. Humility is legacy. Ego dies with you. But humility, that lives on in how you treated people, how you made them feel, who you helped become better. So take the compliments, be proud, but stay grounded. Know your worth, but never think you're worth more than others. Keep learning, keep growing, stay curious. Let your character speak louder than your words, because in the end, it's not about how high you climb, but how many people you pulled up with you. And the higher you go, the more important humility becomes. So you gotta stay hungry, but you also gotta stay kind. You also gotta stay humble. There's a kind of quiet power in someone who doesn't need to remind the world who they are. They walk into a room and you feel it, not because they demand attention, but because they carry peace, a calm confidence. You can't fake that. That kind of presence, that comes from humility. Humility isn't just about how you treat others. It's about how honest you are with yourself. It's when you're real enough to say, I don't know, and strong enough to go find out. It's when you look in the mirror and admit, I still have work to do. And that's not a weakness. That's wisdom. The loudest people are often the ones furthest from themselves. The ones who try so hard to look like they have it all together are usually the ones falling apart inside. But the humble, they don't need to look like anything. They just are. Humility is when you stop performing and start living. You stop chasing validation and you start chasing truth. You stop competing with people you were never meant to compete with, and start building the life that you were meant to live. It's when you stop comparing someone else's highlight reel to your behind the scenes, and you realize you're not behind, you're on your own path, your own pace, your own timeline. The humble person understands this. They don't rush, they don't envy, they don't need to win every argument or be the center of every conversation. They'd rather understand than be understood. They'd rather connect than control, because humility opens the door to growth and pride slams it shut. You can't evolve if you think you've already arrived. You can't learn if you already believe you know it all. You can't become more if you're too busy pretending you're already enough. Humility is freedom from ego, from comparison, from all the things we try to hold on to, from the constant need to be seen, liked, praised, any of that. When you let go of all that, you realize you were never meant to impress the world. You were supposed to impact the world. And impact starts with listening, with empathy, with serving, with lifting others even when you're still climbing. Because the strongest people you ever meet are the ones who could crush you, but choose not to. Because real strength is restraint, real power is patience, and real leadership is humble. You don't lead by being the loudest. You lead by being the one who listens, who understands, who steps back so others can move forward, who shows others how to win by letting them shine too. This world teaches us to chase clout, chase followers, and chase validation. But humility says, what if you chase peace instead? What if you build silence and let the results talk? What if you worked for legacy and not applause? What if your greatest flex was how little you had to prove? And what if, just maybe, you stopped needing people to think you're great, started focusing on actually being great? You don't have to post everything. You don't have to win every debate. You don't have to be right all the time. You don't have to be seen, because you're already solid within yourself. That's what humility gives you. It gives you the space to breathe, to grow, to fall, to fail, to admit when you don't know, and the power to rise back up without bitterness, without excuses, and without blaming the world. So be kind, even when no one else is watching. Stay low, even when you rise high. Be real, even when it's easier to fake it. And remember, the ones who change the world the most are often the ones who talk about themselves the least. You ever notice how the real ones never have to say they're real? That's humility. It's quiet, but it's felt. And the ones who have it, you trust them. Not because of what they say, but because of how they move. No arrogance, no ego, just presence. They don't flex their wins. They don't broadcast their bank account. They don't throw their success in your face, but somehow you still feel their greatness. Because true humility doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. It just is. And in a world addicted to image, being humble is rebellious. Everyone's out here fighting to look important. But the humble person, they're focused on being valuable. They don't care if they're liked by everyone. They care if they're doing what's right. They don't chase recognition. They chase results. They don't ask, how do I look? They ask, who did I help today? And maybe that's the secret. Maybe humility is the thing that brings you back to what actually matters. Because the car, the followers, the designer clothes, the compliments, they all fade. They all come and go. But your character, that's forever. And the people around you, they'll remember your heart, but not your hype. They'll remember how you treated them when you had nothing, and how you treated them when you had everything. So be careful. Success without humility, that's a trap. Because the higher you rise, the more tempting it is to forget who you were before you knew it all, or even before you had it all. But if you stay grounded, if you keep your feet on the earth and your heart open, no amount of money or fame or power can change you. You'll walk into a room, and instead of needing to be noticed, you'll notice others. Instead of trying to impress, you'll try to uplift, and that changes everything. So try to be yourself. Stay humble, stay grounded, and stay real. Never lose yourself in the process of becoming who you truly are. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening to another message of mine. If you guys liked it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, and let me know down in the comments below what else you guys would like me to talk about. See you in the next one.